Simple and practical ways of breaking out of addiction, a very personal guide from me to you. Why is this important? All around the years, I spoke with young people, right? Beyond just wanting to see my country work, I'm also very passionate about young people and how they're able to break free of whatever holds them bound and become who they want to be. I discovered a lot of us have learned and imbibed, practice, lifestyle, habit, characters that seem to impede where we are going to or impede on our progress out of the dungeon we are in. And the enemy is already done with us because with that kind of habit, that kind of lifestyle, you are done with. There is nothing to happen. So a lot of these things, from sophisticated addiction of masturbation, pornography, smoking, alcoholism, to soft ones like sport betting and all the likes, all these things impedes our progress. So today I want to share with you very simple, very practical, personal guide how I broke out of addiction myself. We have all been there one time or the other. So it's something that you would value. If there is somebody around you that you think needs this, please share this video with them. Let them learn. Number one, recognize and acknowledge the addiction. See, do not allow any form of ideology, any form of publicity make you think that an addiction is not an addiction. If you want to break out of addiction, the first thing is to acknowledge and recognize it. Agree that you see doctor. I was speaking to a young person about smoking a while ago, and the person, but every doctor smokes, and it doesn't change the difference. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't change the fact that it's an addiction you need to break out. I've lived with somebody who, before he eats, he smokes. After he eats, he smokes. That's how bad. That's an addiction. He cannot do virtually anything. He can walk out of any major meeting at any point when the addiction sets in. There are people with diverse addictions to sport betting, addictions to master. You will never realize how dangerous it is, how dangerous masturbation is until you get married. And when you are supposed to create that bond with your spouse, you are looking for a hidden corner to masturbate and get yourself okay. Whereas that energy is what your partner needs to create the bonds and help you create a beautiful relationship. But then you are stuck already. Is it porn? Is it smoking? Is it sport betting? Acknowledge that there is a problem. If you cannot stay, that is the first point. There is a problem, acknowledging. Number two, set realistic goals. What I mean, I would have said just set goals. Please set realistic goals. You know, of course, that you are addicted to this thing. It is not something to wake up and say you want to stay away the next 1 week. That's why a lot of you stay away for 1 week and you begin to fight it. After a while, you come back and you come back worse. I've seen people who stop drinking alcohol for a while because they wanted to. And then at some point, they stayed away, they were fighting. They said, I don't want to go where friends are. When they resume from just drinking beer into spirit. And I was going to say at the beginning too that beyond the psychological, mental, and emotional situation that implications of some of these addictions, there's also now a financial cost with the troubling economic recessions all around the world. People are spending money they should have used for investment. I know a particular person that by the grace of God, he's been blessed with a lot of money, but his addiction to sport betting has kept him down. So it's important for us to look at these things holistically. So set realistic. What do you want to see in the next 3 months? What do you want to see in the next 1 year? What do you want to see in the next 2 years? What do you hope to achieve with any of these processes? Don't just say, oh, because everybody's living, oh, I want no. Realistically, from drinking excessively, I want to begin to drink just 1 bottle every week. That's realistic for a while. And then let's see how that grows into something else. Oh, I don't want to be betting every day. I want to be betting weekly this time. Maybe just weekend. That's good. Oh, from smoking 10 packets daily, I want to be smoking 1 packet. Realistically begin to acknowledge this. Oh, for masturbation, I do not want to continue to do this anymore all the time. Probably I want to get a partner, right? Realistic. Don't be religious about it. Realistic goals. Number three, identify the triggers of this particular addiction. Identify the triggers. For example, if you are somebody that is addicted to pornography, for example, and you know what sets you in that mood to watching, or you begin to surf, you have heard recently that X, formerly Twitter, allows for a lot of this. So you're always going there. Now, what are the triggers? You get there. If it's masturbation, what are the triggers? For example, lonely place, you're alone, music, there are set of music that you hear, set of sound you hear, set of phone calls that come to you, stickers and memes. Some of these things, they are the ones that trigger them. Identify them and begin to walk away from them. If there are particular persons that trigger, for example, you want to stay away from smoking, but there is somebody that always come around with packs of cigarettes and then you cannot stay away. These things are very important. Guess what? I am not discussing the religiosity about some of these things. I'm not discussing whether it is healthy or not. That's not the point. But for a lot of persons, whether it is healthy or not, that's what the Bible represents. There's even between sin and weight. Where there are sin, there are weight. There are things that delay or there are things that weigh us down. That's why there are weight. Some of this addiction may not be necessarily put together as being sinful, right? But some of them are very known reasons why we have not grown. Of course, don't allow people's thoughts. Now identify them and begin to stay away from them. Number 4, replace this addiction with very healthy habits. And I did this. Sometimes you may need to start to play football. So those days you spend too much. For a lot of you, the reason why you masturbate is because you stay too long inside your house. You call it loner. You don't trust the world. You don't trust anybody. It's supposed that you stay. If you need to begin to get out, be social, be out all the time. I used to play football at the time. So I played football virtually every evening. I almost became professional with it. It helped me to stay away from that addiction. For some of you, you may just need to stop listening to certain kind of things. You may need to start to listen to music, for example. Some of you need to start to exercise frequently. Some of you need to start to go out, become sociable. Some of you need to start to write. You need to start to do content. You need to start to go live. Whatever takes you away from that space, because sometimes it is because, like the Bible recognize, when a demon leaves and then the demon returns and says that nothing has occupied it, the demon will come back with 700 legions. So the dangers are that if you want to break away from something, you need to attach yourself to something else. That's it. If you want to stay away from something, you need to attach yourself. There must be something you are turning your attention to. Number 5, get a professional involved. You need to get a professional involved. Some of you need to speak to a therapist, you need to speak with a psychologist, you need to speak with a medical doctor. You never can tell. I spoke with a doctor a while ago and was talking about the implications of pornography and masturbation to people when they get married, and it's massive. A lot of you are wasting too much of this reproductive part of you that could be used. And he spoke with a particular couple whose bed life is almost gone because the man has been addicted for this for years, and there's nothing he could do. He cannot satisfy. His sperm is also and a lot of implications are involved this time. So you may need to speak with a professional that will help you. Professional will guide you. A professional would help you, because you just have to. Or you may have to look for a therapist, look for a counselor, a coach, look for a professional mentor, somebody that you can actually be able to, a professional, that you can talk to, not your friend. Then number 6, and this is very important, get an accountability partner. This helped me a lot. Look for somebody. See, care less about whether this person is going to use your stuff against you, because at the point of thinking for an accountability partner, if you put trust, which is very important, if you bother so much about, you don't want your things to get out, you are going to be in problem. Get somebody that could help you, whether in prayer, whether in thought, so this person can de-escalate this pattern and redirect you mentally from it. For example, you get to a point, this person has not heard from you for a while. The person knows, of course, there are things that trigger. There are things you can put on your status, for example. There are things you can be known to be watching. If you live in a hostel, for example, there are things that can be on your phone, and the person knows that this could be a trigger. The accountability partner can come in. The person that you can go back and look at reports of how far you have gone, what you have done, the process that you have done, the things you have encountered, the challenges. Both of you can look at it together. That's what an accountability partner, somebody that you report the progress to, and the person can help you to fine-tune and get you, ensure that your set goals, not his, not ours, your set goals are met. Definitely, for the sake of this video, be persistent and be patient. See, it do not happen overnight. Don't expect yourself. So sometimes you are going to fail, but be persistent and be patient. I had to deliberately put persistence before patience, because patience can make you feel relaxed and then say, okay, be persistent first. Try to ensure that you make this work. It may take a while, but ensure that you make it work. Be resilient. Yes, be resilient. Want to make it work just the way, because it's not easy. You develop this habit for a long time, and it's not easy to get them away, but be persistent. You may fail, You may fall. For some of you, see, I was talking to a friend of mine on social media, and then his biggest challenge is that every time money comes to his hand, he forgets. He moves on to get workers, yeah, sex workers, and that's who he wants to invest. He spends all his money there. Sometimes three in a day, sometimes six over the weekend. Sometimes he's move on into asking for a lot and a lot, moving into feeding some and all that, and it has destroyed the whole thing. His finances are finished. His life is messed up. There's no investment. There is no life. There is nothing, right? And we're just praying that he has also not contracted terminal diseases or STIs that will put him in trouble. These are the things why you must take this very serious. I see, as a young person, I can tell you, most young people are struggling with one addiction or the other, and it's important that we help. See, just like I said earlier, the enemy gives you an addiction and leave you alone because you are finished. That's all he wants. He has messed up your life. You would have been bigger than this if you take this, if you have not been afflicted with this addiction. Now it's time for you to take. The year has just ended, or the year is ending now. We're having a new year. Make a plan for the next year. For some of you, what you need to achieve for 2025 is to break away from that very wrong addiction. If you do, you become better in the other years. So let 2025 be that year to say, I'm taking a definite stand against my addiction. I want to own my life. I want to master my own life. And I want to get out of this particular mess. And God help you in the mighty name of Jesus. I'll catch you another time. Bye for now. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm trying to build a community of young people that would not be impeded by anything. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do well. And as we pray that our country do well, so we want you to also do well and break forth and break out. Talk to me anytime. My DM is always open. I'll catch you another time. Bye for now.